Hi friends, Right Careers welcomes you to another brand new video for this week. This is Sudarshan, your career coach. Now, before we get into this week's topic, a huge thank you to all of us from Right Careers because last week was very special for us. We crossed 2000 subscribers officially in our YouTube channel. So, to all the 2000 subscribers who have subscribed so far, a huge thank you. It means a lot to us. And for people who haven't subscribed, do click on the subscription button and also the bell button for all instant notifications. Moving on to this week's topic, we are in that time of the year where students are looking at studying higher education. I mean, choosing what to study after their undergraduation, or even at offices. If you see, there are many people who I know who will be looking forward eagerly to the appraisal season. We are just 60 days away from the new financial year, which means a lot of recruitments will happen now. And amidst all these things that are happening around us, one person or one department in the organization will become very popular. It's already a popular department. Yes, I'm talking about HR department. The role and the function of HR department will become very active in the days to come. HR is, as it's fondly called, in any organization, is a very popular career in India. However, amidst this popularity, it also carries some kind of myth and perception, about this profession, and that's exactly what we thought. We need to demystify those myths and then see as to why HR is a very popular career. So that's exactly the topic. The topic for this week is demystifying some myths about the career in HR, and then seeing why HR is a very popular career in India, right? So moving on, let me first speak about the myths. What are the myths that surrounding in this profession, and then get into the popularity, why HR is popular, etc. So the first myth that we all have is, whenever any HR walks into a floor, walks into an office, walks into a department, right from a trainee to from an executive to as high as a chief people officer or HR director, there's some kind of buzz that will come in the department. Okay, HR has come to the floor, which means that something is going to happen. People are going to be chucked out, fired out, etc. That's a common myth that we will be having. To be honest with you, that's not the case, because HR as a doesn't come to floor only to send people. In fact, if you know the insights, HR cannot take a decision to send out this person, that person, etc. No, they don't take a decision. They only give suggestion. They only give inputs to the department. It's the department head that takes the decision. Therefore, HR doesn't do. Whenever HR walks in henceforth, please don't react or come to a conclusion that they have come here to send people. No. So that's the first important myth that I thought I should clear. The second myth that we all have about HR is just a personal department. They only recruit people. They only know to recruit people, put salaries, etc. That's what we all think. On the contrary, HR, why HR is considered as a very important department in any organization. It creates assets. You might wonder what assets. Offices already have assets in the form of buildings, IT assets in the form of a lot of IT infrastructure. What assets HR create? They create a strategic assets. And what are those assets? It's us. It's the people, right? People are the most important function in any organization, and that's created by HR. And that's why management views HR very special. So HR creates that strategic assets in any organization. So that's the second myth. They are merely not a personal department. The third myth that surrounds HR is HR is always pro management. They are management friendly and less employee friendly. That's what we all perceive. On the contrary, no, it's once again a myth, because HR, the role of department or the objective of department, every department has an objective, right? For example, for a sales department, to maximize the sales will be the objective or goal. Similarly, for finance department, to optimize the finance will be the goal. For HR, the basic goal or the objective of any HR department is to percolate the vision, is to percolate the thought process, the culture, the integrity of the management to all its employees. And that is the link that they are, right? They act as a link between management and all employees, irrespective of who you are in the employee. They act as that link, and therefore they usually are seen as someone who's close to the management. Follow what management says. They have to follow, no other choice. But it's not that they are one-sided. They also care for the employees, and that's how the system works. So the third myth, that's a very important myth. They're not pro management or less employee friendly. No, they are neutral actually. The fourth important and very important myth that surrounds HR is HR can't be strategic. We all think HR cannot be strategic. They only recruit and go, that's it. What is strategy in HR? We all think. I'll tell you how it works. Gone are those days when HR used to sit as personnel department, because I come from a company, or rather a background that is illustriously 140 years plus old. I've worked for some companies that are over 100 years plus, which means there will be very good practices in HR, especially when it comes to recruitment of people and sourcing of people and things like that. But having said that, nowadays, it was earlier, it used to be called as welfare department, it used to be called as say establishment department, but nowadays it is called as human resource development. And human resources has evolved a lot from the welfare to the employees to statutory things. It has come a lot, I should say. HR analytics, for example, is becoming massive in industry, especially in the new age industry. What is HR analytics? HR analytics include measuring of practices like application dropout rate for recruitment, talent retention rate, right? It is measured. Absenteeism rate is measured. Similarly, a training expense rate is measured. And the more and more you become analytical, the more and more the strategic you are. So that's why HR is no more. I mean, if you say that HR can't be strategic, it's a myth. So these are the popular myth that surrounds HR. We saw why we demystified actually as to these are just a myth. This is not the reality. Moving on. What are the job roles that are there in HR? It's important to see what are the career options in HR. The first career option definitely is, right, will start from the top. Chief People Officer or the Director HR, who heads the department naturally. And then you can also become a recruiter, where you specialize in recruiting people. You can work with portals, you can work with referrals, and then recruit for a company. That's the second role that you can do. And then you can get into the training and development role, training and development in subdomain of HR. Very important, because these days organizations do invest a lot on training and development. You can get into the training, a T&D we call. And then you can also become a consultant, HR entrepreneur, where you can, on behalf of company, you can recruit people and then, make very good commission and money out of it. The recent, I know, as high as 12 to 15% people work on, the monthly CTC, the annual CTC, and it's huge money for a consultant, especially if you're an executive HR consultant. You can also get into the labor side, the labor relations manager. You pursue law and HR, once again a deadly combination where you can definitely make a good career on that. You can also become a compensation specialist, or say a statutory specialist or payroll specialist, where you work on payrolls, you work on statutory components like provident funds or gratuity, and all those things. And you can also work as HR analytics. We just saw what HR analytics was. So these are some of the roles that are there in HR. Now that we have seen what are the roles, we will now see why this is very, very popular. It's important to know why HR as a profession is very, very popular in India. The first reason as to why HR is very, very popular is very, very simple. It impacts human lives. It impacts you. It impacts me, because HR usually will be the first person of contact when it comes to any company that you want to work. They give you a job. I mean, it's not that they give you directly, but they are the one who coordinate with you on anything and everything till the time you onboard into a company. And therefore, they're the first face of any company, and instantly, they impact you. They impact people's life. They help in increasing the productivity when you join the company. Not only that, in times of criticality, in times of a lot of distress that you undergo, it's the HR that help you, coming out of it by giving various solutions. Especially they work on PF, salary part, the medical compensation, reimbursements, etc. It's HR they do. All in all, if you see, they impact you, and therefore it's a very, very popular profession. The second important reason as to why HR is very popular is it's highly people oriented. HR is a subfield of management. We all know that. And what is management? Getting things done through others, right? That's exactly what HR does. It gets the best out of employees. It is not about sitting in front of laptop. It's not about sitting in front of computers and working with technology. It is more about working with people directly on ground, and that's why it's very, very popular. It is naturally a people-oriented job, because these days you see some of the famous jargons are practiced in organizations. Jargons like employees first, customers second. It's a popular jargon. It's employees are the first customers in any organization. This was coined by Mr. Vineet Nayar, former CEO of HCL Technologies, and it's religiously followed in many companies these days. They treat the employees as their first customers. The actual customers are the second customers. So that speaks volumes about growing HR practices. That is the impact that I'm talking about. That's the impact that they will create among its employees. The third, reason as to why HR is popular is definitely the salary packages. Usually, HR professionals are recruited after a strong skill set, strong, people orientation background with great knowledge and skill, and therefore they are paid really, really well in any organization. And the final fourth reason as to why HR is definitely a popular career is because of its of the job security and also the personal growth that it will enjoy. Because as an HR professional, you will interact with people on a daily basis, and that itself is a catalyst for your self and personality development. With regards to growth, there is a famous analogy that goes like this: every industry, every industry looks out for growth, looks out for developing itself, right? And in that process, the more the company or industry develops, the more the requirement of people, the more the requirement of people, the more the requirement of HR. And that's how it works. And therefore HR, if you ask me, is definitely a recession proof career to work with. How do you become HR? Very simple. These days in India, you have to pursue undergraduation, maybe an MBA in HR, human resource specialization, and then pursue leading institutes in India, in business schools, and then make a good career in HR. Now, choosing a right career is very, very important for all of you as a student. And if you are people oriented, if you want to work with people, if you are good at communication skills, I will give a huge thumbs up to this career. HR is a great profession to work for if you possess all those etiquettes and traits. And in case you have any doubts on where to study, how to pursue a career in HR, do ping us. We'll be happy to assist you. And until next Monday with another brand new video, see you all. Take care. Have a safe week. Thank you.